If your pain in the neck goes beyond proverbial, there is hope. Las Vegas Pain Relief Center has a variety of treatments that'll get you back in the game. He's actually helped several people get back in the game, quite literally. The clinic director is Dr. John Petrick. He joins us now. How are you, buddy? It's great having you.
Absolutely, thank you.
So tell us about the clinic. I mean, you've had quite a few big names swing through.
Yeah, actually, it's kind of ironic because, you know, we do so much in and around the community that we've had the privilege to work with a lot of UFC fighters, including Conor McGregor when he was on the show here with Ryber on the UFC Ultimate Fighter show. We've had Brock Lesnar stop by, and Forrest Griffin we just saw the other day. So it's kind of it's fight week, so everybody's getting ready now.
But you're not just helping the rich, the famous, the all-powerful. You're helping everyone.
Yeah,
get
absolutely,
out of pain.
Absolutely. The Las Vegas Pain Relief Center. We got 2 locations here in Las Vegas, and expanding into 3 and 4 locations.
Excellent.
We treat everybody from car accidents to headaches, pain, you know, carpal tunnel syndrome, low back, you name it. We treat it in our facilities.
Yeah, your chiropractic office, but not just one form. Your multiple disciplines. Explain what it is that you do.
We look at the inside and outside of every single patient. We want to know what's going on with the blood. We want to make sure that everything is going on right on the inside as well as the outside. So we do some screening. We look at their movement patterns to make sure there's no aberrant movements, so we can actually objectively kind of look at the situation to make a determination whether it's the joints or is it the tissue. And once we make that determination, we can add some other protocols that are really going to take care of it. And it's immediate treatment, so it's not one of those things where patients have to come in 50 and 60 times. They're leaving that same very day with noticeable improvement.
No kidding.
And that's really one of the reasons why when we treat so many professional athletes, because what you do has got to work or they're not coming back. So
absolutely. That's a fight night. That's a paycheck that's being lost.
That's right.
Sure.
Absolutely.
What sets Las Vegas Pain Center apart from the rest?
First and foremost is probably the wonderful staff in which I get the privilege to work with. My staff, Dr. Roby and AY, all my other staff members out there. That's great, but it's the actual techniques we utilize are kind of proprietary to our system. Techniques like active release techniques, which is
what is that?
Active release is actually the gold standard considered by OSHA. It's a soft tissue treatment for injuries to the joints, soft tissue, muscle being muscle, tendon, ligament. Actually, if I can use it proper real quick, this is, if we were to use this, and I know we laughed about this before the segment, but this is what I use for my patients to explain what what's happening in the tissue, whether it be chronic or cumulative. The tissue starts to stick together, and a well-trained active release technician or practitioner can actually feel and palpate this. You see this every day where patients can't turn their head and they can't move. Well, what we do is we have to find out where those adhesions are and then actually break them free and turn them back into normal tissue.
Wow.
So immediately, 72 hours after injury, you can actually have a palpable change to the tissue. So
you're tenderizing the meat, essentially.
You're basically breaking that stuff free, which is critically important, especially when you have nerve damage and stuff like that where the nerves are entrapped. You got to free it up, which would be like in the case of carpal tunnel. So you have to free up the nerves, and we use active release amongst other techniques. Now,
there was one technique when I was doing the research for this. I read it. I'm like, what is that? Cranial facial release.
Well, that's a great technique. I'm glad that you mentioned it.
What is that?
Craniofacial release is where if you look at the human skull, actually, and this is kind of the demonstration of that, we have 22 bones in the skull. And each of those bones ultimately is supposed to move independently of each other, and it happens during breathing where your frontal bone and all the bones move during breathing. When there's trauma, where something happens to the person's skull, the skull doesn't move right, so we have to get the skull sutures to start to move. In addition to it, they have so much scar tissue in the nasal bones and in and around the nasal areas that we actually have to insert a balloon into the nasal passage, inflate the balloon. It's only inflated for a millisecond, and then it opens up the passages. The UFC just did an awesome segment on this with Uriah Faber and the guys on the show, showing us ballooning them because it gets oxygen to the brain. So they notice it in performance. So they're noticing it in the third and fourth.
They're not getting lethargic later on later rounds.
Oxygen makes performance. You know, we can, enhancement substances are no longer, they're totally banned in every single pro sport. So you have to do something to give your athlete an edge, and oxygen is the key. So that's what we do.
You're essentially sending in a referee to break up all the kind of muck in there to say, hey, let's make some space.
We're optimizing brain function. We're getting as much oxygen to the brain. This is good for snoring, headaches, TMJ, face pain. Patients with terrible, terrible migraines are finding relief when they come in and we get them ballooned. And then, the ever all-present snoring. And that's one of the things that, whether you're a wife or a husband there, you could be under great consequence.
Thank you for pointing out the wife, too, because the girls get away with not being blamed for snoring, and they snore just as much.
Yes, they do.
You offer a Boost IV drip as well. This can really kind of give you a little bit of a pep in your step. Explain what this is.
We offer a few different drip packages, and ultimately what this comes down to is we want the best for our clients. We want our clients to receive, no waste. So we want them to get intravenous IV drips, and we have some specialty kind of blends that we put together for patients patients in pain. So if they are in pain, we don't want them to have to process it through the stomach and through the liver. So we're actually giving through them through a drip. We actually have something coming out with one of the fighters. We're going to be, kind of doing a drip for to recommend to people for when they're recovering from athletic activities.
Huh.
So we have all kinds of drips. Whether you're hungover or jet lag, whatever it is, we have a drip customized specifically for you. And one of the few offices that have some specific techniques that kind of make our drips a little bit more special in regards to the customization of them. So if we had a patient, cancer patients, patient with Alzheimer's, it's not just the hangover
it's
drip.
Not one size fits
No,
all.
absolutely not. It is truly customized for each individual client.
We have about 30 seconds left. I know you have a special for Morning Blend viewers that are interested in walking through the doors. What do you have?
Yeah, it's incredibly important that we want to approach and get as many people into our offices as possible, especially when they're dealing with pain. So right now, because of the blend, and one of the things we discussed is our team got together and said we're going to do a $99 special, saves them $150 from our initial $249 initial examination. So it's a $99 special specific for the blend. Give us a call.
Awesome. It's a great deal. It's great having you, Doctor. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
He's worked on the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar.
You can trust the man. Get back in the game without pain at Las Vegas Pain Relief Center. They have 2 locations. One's in Henderson, the other one's in the Southwest near Summerlin. They have 2 more coming soon as well. They're going all over the place. Their website, their number, both right there on your screen. Las Vegas Pain Relief Center, all over social, and they're a proud sponsor of the Morning Blend.